And this is one of our most difficult tasks because it has, it needs to know like the millimeter level precision of like grabbing the Ziploc in the correct way.
Yeah.
And then like it'll try to get the bread in that tiny spot.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's just all visual servoing.
Now, you might remember that earlier this year, I got to sit down with Carolina Parada, who is the head of robotics at Google DeepMind. And she was talking all about taking Gemini's multimodal reasoning and embedding it into a physical body. And since we were coming to California for this trip to see what Google DeepMinders are doing on this side of the Atlantic, obviously the robotics lab was top of the list. Now, you have to remember that these robots aren't these fancy pre-programmed robots that are doing backflips, right? This is something completely different. These robots are open-ended. They are understanding the instructions that you give them and then able to flexibly respond and adapt to an unlimited number of tasks. Now, our tour guide for the day is Kanishka Rao, who is the director of robotics at Google DeepMind. I haven't been into a DeepMind robotics lab since, I think, 2021.
Oh, okay.
Already it looks quite different. You haven't got the privacy screens.
Yeah.
They've gone.
They're gone, yeah.
You don't need them anymore?
No, we have the whole lab here in the open.
Is it that they're more capable of focusing?
Yeah, the models are now trained with like much more robust like visual backbones. So we don't care too much about the lighting or the backgrounds as much. So like the visual generalization part of the problem is much more solved than like 4 years ago.
Big improvements?
Big improvements, yeah.
Okay.
There've been a few big breakthroughs in robotics in the last couple of years, and we're excited to show those today.
Yeah, it might only be 4 years, but it's basically an ocean of time in terms of what's changed.
Robotics looks very different than it did 4 years ago.
What are the big changes then? Large language models, multimodal models.
Yeah, so basically we want robots to be general. And to be general for human usage, these robots must be able to understand, general purpose, the human concepts. And the big breakthroughs in the last few years have been, we're kind of building robotics on top of these other bigger models, these large vision language models. And turns out they have great understanding of general, world things. So the latest robot models are now built on top of that. So we're seeing like incredible improvements in like how they generalize, like new scenes and new visuals and new instructions. So yeah, robotics is way more general than it was a few years ago.
Because I was talking to Carolina earlier this year, and she was sort of saying that it's not even just vision language models to perceive the scene around, but also to plan the actions that it's doing.
Yeah, so basically we develop these things called VLAs, which are vision, language, and action models. So what we did with those is we put actions, which are like physical actions that the robot is doing in the world, and put them on the same footing as the vision and the language tokens. So then now these models can, model these sequences and try to figure out, if given a new situation, what are the new sequence of actions to do there? So we call this action generalization. And even in this, we've seen, massive improvements in the last few years. So in the previous release, you saw robots doing kind of more short horizon things, like pick up things and place them somewhere else, or like unzip a bag. But really to be useful to humans, you want like longer horizon things. And there we have an agent now that can orchestrate some of these smaller moves to make it a much more longer horizon thing. Like you want to pack your luggage for like London, you want to first look up the weather in London. So this agent can then check the weather, decide what you want, and then even like pack your bag for you.
So it's like you've got this kind of fundamental layer, that sort of foundational model, and then you're like building on top and on top and on top and on top until you can chain sequences of actions all together to do a long, complex task.
Yeah, and it makes it way more useful because you don't want that short horizon thing. What you really want for a robot is to do the full thing for you. So this agent really brings that other layer of intelligence to like the whole thing.
And this is 1.5.
Yep. We have so there's two capabilities in 1.5. We have the agentic component, and then we have the thinking component. And thinking is like a word that's been used a lot. So for robotics purposes here, what we're trying to do is we're making the robot think about the action that it's about to take before it takes it. So it'll output its thoughts, and then it will take the action. And just this act of outputting its thoughts makes it more general and more performant because we're kind of forcing it to think about what it's going to do before it does it.
Because you see this in language models, right? Like take a deep breath before answering, or the chain of thought, ideas does actually improve the performance. But it's the same in robotics.
It's the same principle that we're applying to robotics and physical actions.
Isn't that weird? Just some of these emergent properties are just so weird.
Yeah, for robotics, to do like the basic manipulation tasks is really difficult. So we do these tasks very naturally, intuitively, without thinking about it. But for robots, it's hard. So getting it to think about these actions before it does it, it truly helps the robots.
Amazing. Okay, well, obviously I want to see. Can we go through one of these ones?
Let's go.
Okay.
So let's take a look at the Aloha robots here. And here, It's going to pack us a lunch with some very dexterous moves. And it'll do like a long horizon task.
Amazing.
And it's Kaden who's going to run the robot.
Kaden, thank you.
So this is going to pack a lunchbox. And this is one of our most difficult tasks because it has, it needs to know like the millimeter level precision of like grabbing the Ziploc in the correct way.
Yeah.
And then like it'll try to get the bread in that tiny spot.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's just all visual servoing.
Oh my gosh. I'm so impressed. I mean, as soon as I said the word impressed, it started flailing slightly. But
Get stage fright, yeah.
And does it correct itself?
It'll keep trying.
Hey, hello, you've got lots of cameras pointing at you, I understand.
Yeah, they like...
I understand the stress. The first time I went into a DeepMind robotics lab was maybe 2017 or so.
Okay.
And at that point, they had, like the big Lego for like toddlers. All they were trying to do was like stack one on top of the other, stack blocks. And honestly, the pile of discarded broken Lego in the corner was like illustrative of just how difficult.
Yeah.
But this idea of like millimeter precision for the bag.
All right.
Wow,
Whoa,
look at that.
Nice, okay.
No way. I'm so impressed. Go
So we try it from the top
go and give it
again?
another go.
Yeah, we want to see the bread in the Ziploc. Too much. I'll try to do the... Okay.
Oh, that is so almost. Wow.
All right. Yeah.
That's
nice.
amazing.
That is
That's amazing. Because it crushed too hard on that and you wouldn't be able to close it.
Yep. And it's
And
gonna
too
pack
soft, you're not going to be able to.
some more stuff.
I mean, that was easy.
Yeah.
The chocolate bar. And now the grapes. Is it going to go on a grape? Oh. Almost certainly that's some grape juice going on there. This is really impressive.
So this is the dexterity in action, like just like how precise it can get.
Okay, so...
And then it's going to try to close it, I think. Yeah. So this is just learn from the data how to do this. This is just end to end.
So, but exactly end to end, as you say, right?
Yeah.
Like this
is just vision and actions.
And what kind of data is it learning from? I mean, it's not going to do the zip, is it?
Let's find out.
What kind of data do you give it? So is this based on just allowing the robot to try lots of things, or are you simulating?
So this is actually done via teleoperation. So we kind of embody the robot and do the task with the robot. Right. And it learns through that perspective, and it is going to... So it can pack you some lunches. Yeah.
So you demonstrate to it, this is what it means to do it correctly.
Yep.
I see.
All right. Thanks. That was so cool.
I sort of want to give you a high five, but your hands are quite pointy.
Yeah, not these ones. Okay, so we saw dexterity here. Let's take a look at another demo where we'll showcase the generalization capabilities of these robots. We talked about how VLMs are general world understanders. So we'll see that on robotics now.
Because that one was a task that it does over and over and over again to try
It's more about
the
dexterity. Here, it's more about the generalization.
Okay.
So Colleen here is going to show us what the robots can do in a more general setting.
So here we have our robot running a general policy, so it can kind of interact with the objects, and you can just speak to it because we have a Gemini layer on top. Amazing. So for example, hey, can you put the blue block into the blue tray?
I am putting the blue block into the blue tray.
Oh, it's chatting while it does it.
Yeah, so if you want to just ask it to do something, it's a push to hold mic.
Yeah. Can you put the green block in the orange tray, but do it as Batman would?
Nice.
I cannot perform actions as a specific character. However, I can put the green block in the orange tray for you.
Fine.
I am now moving the green block into the orange tray.
Okay, that's cool. So if this is completely generalizable, okay, so I have a stress ball.
Okay.
That I travel with, and it's never seen this before.
It's never
okay,
seen that
so
before.
if I put that in the scene,
okay,
and that's a pot, right?
Right, this is a little container and it lifts open.
Okay, let's try this. Open the lid of the green pear.
I'm getting started on opening the lid of the green pear.
Oh, it's going to be tricky. Ooh, that is difficult, right?
Yeah.
That's small.
All right.
Amazing. Place the pink blob inside the green pear.
I'm working on placing the pink block inside the green pear.
It's a bit difficult.
Oh, nice.
Go on, go on. Oh, I want it to succeed so much. Oh, squishy.
Yay. Okay.
Put the green pear lid back on the pot. Yes. Yes. Oh,
Nice.
I'm so impressed. You know what? You look like a proud parent.
No, it really feels that way
It's
sometimes.
amazing. It's amazing. Never done that before.
Yeah, that pink stress ball is never seen before.
Yeah, the open-endedness of this
Yeah.
is really extraordinary.
Yeah. So now we can chain together some of these short tasks into a long horizon task. And it could be way more useful because as you saw, with short horizon tasks, you can only do parts of it. But once you can string them along to do something more impressive and long term, then we get like more useful tasks.
So instead of like instruction, you can just tell it to do
You
something.
can ask for some high level thing, and then a orchestrator will break that down into smaller instructions for the VLA, and it will do the whole thing for you end to end. And we can see that now here.
Okay. I'm in San Francisco and I don't know the rules about sorting trash. Can you look it up for me and then tidy up?
In San Francisco, you're required to separate your waste into 3 categories: recyclables, compostables, and trash, each with its own color-coded bin.
Nice. Nice. Oh, no. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Wow.
Now I will put the rubbish into the black bin.
Nice.
So it's
Okay.
chaining the
Yeah, you can see
chaining the
how
thoughts.
the agent can orchestrate a few more tasks and make it way
Yeah.
more useful.
So in terms of the architecture of that then, how does it work? I mean, do you have like sort of a separate system sitting on top that's giving instructions?
Yeah, we have 2 systems. One kind of our ER model, which is better at reasoning, and that orchestrates the other model, which is our VLA, which does the physical actions. So both of these come together to do these long horizon tasks.
Okay, so the VLA being the vision language action model,
Correct.
and then the ER model being
A
the
VLM, of just a vision language model
Got
that's
you.
designed to, be better at these kinds of tasks.
it's doing the reasoning.
Exactly.
I think if we're going for full science fiction future though, you don't want just arms.
You want the full humanoid.
You want the full humanoid
Let's go check
robot.
out the humanoid lab.
Okay, yes, please.
All right. So here we have a robot that will sort laundry for us. It'll put the dark clothes in the dark bin
Yeah.
and the white clothes in the white bin. This is Stephanie and Michael who's going to run the demo.
I
And the cool thing is you will just read the thoughts of the robot as it's doing it, and you'll see, what it's thinking. And this is our, thinking and acting model where it'll first think and then take the action.
You get an insight into its brain.
Yeah, so you can look at what it's thinking now.
So this is every time step, is it?
Yep.
I got you.
You want to throw in a few more clothes?
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Let's do it. Let's get a red one in there.
Let's get a red one in there.
Do not put that in the white one. Thank you. So do you have a system sitting on top of it that's kind of making these decisions? I mean, how does it work? Is it like hierarchical?
This one is pure end to end.
Right.
It's thinking and acting in the same model. There's no hierarchy, so it's like very closed loop. So okay. Pick up
Red. The
the
bottom closed from the table. Red cloth.
the black box. Beautiful. Nice.
Beautiful. I mean, I would probably wash that separately. But, you do you, hun. With a purple top in no time. Okay, so then if this is end to end, how do you extract this information out? Is it just outputting actions?
So the beauty of this is it's outputting both its thinking and its actions. So think about how Gemini outputs its thinking before it outputs the response to the user. This is doing kind of something similar.
Got you.
No, it's actually truly exciting. Like
Really?
it's a different way of doing robotics that I feel like is very exciting to us. Yeah.
All right, so here we have the robot. When we showcase his generalization capabilities, and this is Kirtana, one of the researchers working on
do
it.
it.
So let's just see what he can pick up, and maybe he can pick something and put it in one of these things.
I'd like the plant in the basket.
Also, all these objects are not seen by the robot during
At
training.
all? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so they are completely new. Many of them we shopped like yesterday.
Oh,
Oh
really?
yeah, that's true. We went to Target and we bought a bunch of things yesterday.
So this is about how the robot can handle completely new objects.
Things it's never seen before. Here we go. Hi. Do it. Whoa, that is quite tricky to pick up, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like kind of sliding away. Oh, okay,
I'm just not
got
sure
it.
if the
Nice, cool.
the scruff of its neck.
Nice, yeah.
Hey, well
That worked,
done!
yeah.
You did it.
What next?
Okay, I'd like the Doritos in the hexagon.
And you can move it as it's trying to do it, and you can see
Trick
Yeah,
it.
yeah, trick it.
Okay. Ah,
Oh.
I hope you weren't planning to eat those.
Amazing. Thing is, okay, it's still a bit slow. It doesn't get it right 100% of the time, but you can see that it's like, it's on the right path, right? I think that's what feels very different to last time I came to one of these labs.
Yeah, you can see the intention behind, the actions, and it's generally trying to do the things that you're asking it for.
Do you feel as though the stuff that you're doing now isn't going to be thrown away and scrapped for a whole new technique? Or do you feel like you're building the sort of foundational blocks?
So yeah, I think these are the foundational blocks that will lead to the final picture of general purpose robotics. So we will just have to build on top of this.
In that building on top, do you think it needs another revolution? Like, do we need another architecture, or do you think that we've got enough already?
No, I think we need at least one more big breakthrough.
Yeah.
Like even now, these robots, they take a lot of data to learn these tasks. So we need a breakthrough where they can learn more efficiently with data.
So do you think that's the only limiting factor then? Do you think if you had a similar order of magnitude, many, many more orders of magnitude of data like you do with large language models or visual language models, do you think that this would be sorted?
There is one hypothesis that is all you need.
Right.
If you can get that much robot data, then we're done. We can pack it up. But there's still a long tail of problems to solve. Like they have to be safe. They have to really master the task. So there are still challenges, but the core of the problem is still the robot data, this physical interaction data. What it feels like to do all of this stuff. It's just limited. It's not as big as the internet.
So right now, we still have to collect all this experience on robots, but there is a lot of manipulation data that is collected by humans, humans posting videos about how to do anything. We should be able to learn from that at some point and really increase how capable robots are. This is very unstructured. Solving robotics, general manipulation is a very unstructured problem.
Yeah, and completely open-ended in terms of the type of things you could potentially ask it to do. Amazing. I'm so impressed. Well done. Sometimes these robots are a little bit on the slow side, right? Sometimes they're a bit clunky. But you have to remember that this idea of having a robot that can understand semantics, that can get a contextual view of the scene in front of it, that can reason through complex tasks, this is completely inconceivable just a few years ago. And okay, there may still be some way to go, but the progress here is really limited by the amount of data that we have on physical interactions in the real world. But solve that, go through that barrier, and I don't think you're just going to be watching robots sort laundry. I think we could be on the cusp of a genuine robot revolution.